Okay, everybody, just a quick update. I've gotten the step completed. I have finished putting these making these plates. I've taken a grinder and I've ground all the edges down to smooth them out from the burrs. I've drilled a 1/4-inch hole in the top of the tabs for connecting, and then I took and ground down the burr that came with the drill hole to make sure that they sit flush and tight. I have 2 sets of plates because of the way I'm doing this, and my next step is to cut these 2 pipes. These 2 pipes I picked up at Lowe's, or you can pick them up at Home Depot or any hardware supply place. They're 2-foot sections. This is a 4-inch pipe and this is a 2-inch pipe. I'm going to be cutting them in half. 1 foot of each one of these pipes will go with each system. I'm actually building 2 separate systems. So that's the next step, and we will get back with you once I've cut these so that we can get through the next steps, because the hard part's over. Making these plates by hand is a lot of work. It's taken me a couple days to cut these out and go through several hacksaw blades and quite a few grinder discs in order to get it cleaned up. So that was the hard part. The easy part's going to come quick, and stay tuned. Okay, folks, so the next step here is to kind of go over our parts list. We're not done with putting our plates together. We'll do that next, but right now I'm at the stage where I have all the parts that I need, and I'm going to go over them. Like I said, I've got 2 systems that I'm going to build at the same time. What you saw first was me making these pieces, and now I have cut the pipe, so everything is pretty much ready to go, and now I'm going to have to assemble it. But before we do, I'm going to walk through. I'm going to tell you what I've got so that you can duplicate this if you so choose to. We're going to go through the materials list and where and how you can get these things. So for one, I already told you about the plates. We have to build the plate, I want to call it plate system together, but that'll come next. These are shrink tubes, and we're going to need those to insulate the upper tabs of the tabbed plates that we have. And these, I had a bunch of them from a box that I bought at Harbor Freight. They were only a few bucks. Most of this stuff I bought at Lowe's. So each system, and like I said, I've got them both spread out, checking to make sure that I had everything I needed. So now we're going to talk about what we've got, and then we'll get into putting them together. So I've got a 4-inch screw clean out cap and a slip thread for the 4-inch pipe. I've got a 1-foot piece cut, and then we've got a 4-inch cap. We've got a 2-inch cap, a 2-inch piece that's cut to 1 foot, a slip thread piece, and a screw-in cap. We've got a roll of 20-foot 1/4-inch clear tubing so that I can see what's going on. And let me move around over here to this other side. So I've got double of everything, and then we're going to come back over here, and I've got some adhesive that we're going to use to bond the plates together. I originally went with JB Weld. I still have a tube of it. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this. I'm going to work on 1 set of plates first with this adhesive. If it does not do the way I want to with the first bonding, I may strip it all down and go with this. The first batch of this, I didn't look. I got that quick stuff, and it's got some steel impregnation, and I was a little concerned about the potential of the adhesive having a conductivity I didn't want to check it. I looked around and read and researched, and I could not find it anything stating whether it did or didn't. So I said, screw it. I'm going to go with something I'm fairly sure will not be conductive, but I'm not sure about the strength of this. So most of the references I've seen have gone to that, but there's a lot more for the cost here in this tube than there is in this. So we'll get to that when we assemble the plates. You need a piece of stainless steel threaded 1/4-20 rod that I'll use to tie the different positive and negative terminals together. You have stainless steel 1/4-20 nuts to go on those, and then you have 1/4-20 stainless steel bolts that will become the positive and negative terminals, and then we have a couple of washers to help seal between the pipe where we bring the terminals through the pipe. We have two nylon 1/4-20 with a pipe thread on it. Nipples there to hose bibs, hose barbs is what they call them. So I can put a sight tube on the side, so I can run a piece of this on the side and check my water level. And then I've got several brass fittings that we'll use to connect between the production tube and the boiler or bubbler or scrubber tube, as the second tube is called. And then I've got a packet of these nylon zip ties so that I can use these to space my plates apart when I go to glue them together. And you'll see that in a bit. And then I also got a drill and tap. I did not have a pipe tap that would work, and that's for threading this and this piece into the pipe so that we can screw them in. So like I said, I've got pretty much double of everything. A couple tubes of each glue, several packets of screws and nuts and such. I believe this is pretty much it. Oh, and some thread tape for when we screw in the tops to those, so we can get a good seal, and for screwing in the pipe threads. So that is the parts list, and we will get back next on the construction of the plate assembly. So we'll see you then.